The Nigerian army clashed heavily with the Biafra Liberation Army in their camp in Imo State and Ebonyi State respectively. The Nigerian army claims to have cleared the camps belonging to IPOB fighters, but reports of items seized, including firearms, ammunition, and vehicles by the Biafra Liberation Army, proves that the Nigerian army are lying about their claims. This news update reflects a detailed and multifaceted discussion surrounding ongoing issues in southeastern Nigeria, now known as the United States of Biafra, including insecurity, military operations, and the broader implication for social and political stability. There is persistent insecurity issues, including car snatching, kidnapping, ransom demand, and robbery currently going on in the southeast, and there are accusations against the Nigerian security forces such as the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police, and the Nigerian DSS of contributing to or failing to address the insecurity effectively. However, the Nigerian police have emphasized the responsible use of social media, warning against spreading fake news and misinformation that could exacerbate insecurity. Now, let's dive deeper into this gripping tale of conflict, survival, and resilience in southeastern Nigeria. This story takes us into the heart of the ongoing clashes between the Nigerian army and the Biafra Liberation Army. It is not just about battles and raids. It is about the lives affected, the questions unanswered, and the path forward for a region yearning for peace. Imagine living in a place where fear is a constant companion. Southeastern Nigeria, particularly the states of Imo and Ebonyi, has become a stage for ongoing unrest. People here wake up daily to news of kidnappings, car snatching, and ransom demands. It is like living in a movie where the bad guys are always a step ahead and the good guys, well, sometimes it is hard to tell who they are. For years, the Southeast has been grappling with security challenges. The presence of the Nigerian army, police, and other security forces hasn't eased the situation much. Instead, their checkpoints are seen by some as hotspots of extortion rather than bastion of safety. People pass through these checkpoints daily, sometimes losing money, sometimes losing patience, but always losing trust in a system meant to protect them. In this climate of distrust, the clash between the Nigerian army and the Biafra Liberation Army unfolds. The Nigerian army claims it is making progress, clearing out camps and confiscating weapons belonging to the Biafran forces. But the Biafra Liberation Army countered these claims with evidence that raises eyebrows. Who is telling the truth? The lines are blurry, and that is where our story begins. Picture this: dense forest in Imo and Ebonyi State, silent except for the rustling of leaves and the occasional bird call. Then suddenly, the silence is shattered. Gunfire echoed through the trees as Nigerian soldiers raid camps believed to be operated by the Biafra Liberation Army. It is chaos, a clash of firepower and determination. The army claims victory, saying they have overpowered the Biafran Liberation Army and destroyed their camps. They list items seized, which include guns, ammunition, vehicles, and so on and so forth. They describe their operations with military precision, painting a picture of success. But here is the twist. Reports from other side tell a different story. The Biafra Liberation Army claims to have taken weapons and supplies from the Nigerian soldiers, calling in to question the Nigerian Army's narrative. It is a classic case of he said, she said, but with deadly stakes. The truth lies somewhere in the middle, obscured by the fog of war and the spin of propaganda. What is clear though is that both sides are entrenched and the real losers are the people caught in between. Let's talk about the people, the ordinary men, women, and children who live in these areas, whose lives are disrupted by the sound of gunfire and the sight of soldiers. Imagine being a parent sending your child to school with a prayer that they come back safely. Imagine being a farmer wondering if today will be the day you are caught in the crossfire while tending your crops. The insecurity in the southeast is more than just a headline. It is a daily reality for millions. Kidnappings are rampant, and the demand for ransom has become a grim business. Car snatching is so common that owning a vehicle feels like inviting trouble. People have lost not just their possession, but their sense of safety and peace of mind. And then there are the accusations. Many point fingers at the Nigerian security forces, accusing them of being complicit in the chaos, or at the very least, failing to address it effectively. It is a tough pill to swallow for those who look to these forces for protection. But what is the alternative? Turning to Biafra forces like the Biafra Liberation Army. That path brings its own set of risks and uncertainties. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been a central figure in the southeast unrest, initially known for its non-violent push for the independence of Biafra. IPOB has since fractured into different factions. One of the most controversial figures is Simon Ekpa, who leads the Biafra Republic government in exile. Simon Ekpa claims to have rebranded the Eastern Security Network (ESN) into new groups like the Biafra Liberation Army and the Biafra Defense Forces. This rebranding adds another layer of complexity to the situation. While IPOB's original leadership distances itself from Simon Ekpa and his group, the Nigerian government often lumps them all together, creating confusion and escalating tensions. For ordinary people, it is like being stuck in a storm with no clear shelter in sight. In today's world, battles aren't just fought with guns and bullets, they are fought with information. Social media has become a battlefield of its own, where both sides try to control the narrative. The Nigerian police have warned against spreading fake news, emphasizing the need for responsible use of platforms. But let's be honest, in a region where trust is in short supply, every post and tweet feels like a double-edged sword. Fake news can spread like wildfire, turning rumors into fact and inflaming already tense situations. But for people desperate for information, social media is often their only source. The challenge lies in separating truth from fiction, in finding the signal amidst the noise. So where do we go from here? The Southeast challenges are deep-rooted and multifaceted. They are not just about armed clashes or political disagreement. They are about a lack of trust, a breakdown of communication, and a history that weighs heavily on the present. Dialogue could be a way forward. The Nigerian Army spokesman, Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Onoa, has called for peace talks and understanding, but talk is cheap if it doesn't lead to action. The people of the Southeast need more than words. They need tangible changes that address their fears and frustrations. Perhaps it is time for all sides to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What kind of future do they want for the Southeast, for the children growing up in this environment, for the communities trying to rebuild trust and stability? Despite the challenges, there is a glimmer of hope. History has shown that even the most entrenched conflict can find resolution through persistence and empathy. It is not an easy road, but it is a road worth traveling. For the people of the Southeast, resilience is not just a buzzword, it is a way of life. They have endured hardships, adapted to challenges, and kept their hope alive. That hope, combined with genuine effort from all stakeholders, could pave the way for a brighter, more peaceful future. As we close this chapter of the story, let's remember that behind every headline are real lives. Let's not just read about the Southeast struggles, let's think about what we can do to support a path to peace, because in the end, we are all connected and their story is a part of ours. However, the Nigerian police have emphasized the responsible use of social media, warning against spreading fake news and misinformation that could exacerbate insecurity. while in Ghana there was peaceful election and results were transparent and reliant. But compared to Nigeria, where electoral process is rigged and compromised with results fake. Let's watch the video and see for ourselves.
The Nigerian police has warned Nigerian youths and social media practitioners to be wary of using the platform to foment chaos and promote insecurity in the country with misinformation and dissemination of fake news. The police force PRO ACP Muyiwa Adejobi, who made the remarks at the 5th edition of the Bodex Social Media Hangout in Lagos, warned that there is no absolute fundamental human right, and as such, everyone should be guided against wrongful use of social media platforms.
Don't forget that no fundamental human right is actually absolute. So we must be mindful of what we do. Whatever you do that is contrary to the provisions of a law is an offense and is punishable under the law. The law enforcement agencies, particularly the Nigerian police force, will not care whose us is God. It's important for us to know, and that's why we need more public enlightenment, we need more advocacy, we need more education, so that our Nigerians, and particularly the teeming youth, can know the dangers in the wrongful use of some of these opportunities online, some of these social media platforms, because once you run foul of the law will take its course. So it's in most cases these things pose threat to security, where you have contents that are detrimental to national security, that are dangerous to national security.
If you do the right thing, nobody will go after you. Nobody will run after you. What is the right thing? Investigate your story very well. Be sure of the story you are publishing. Be accurate. Cross-check your facts. It is when you are convinced that you are pushing out the right thing that you should be able to release the information. Again, we have editors that are gatekeepers. They too should equally assist in checkmating the excesses or the publication of misinformation, fake news, or malinformation in the society.
Bodex Social Media Hangout is about bringing netizens, bringing content creators, stakeholders, they come together to coexist. We teach the use of social media for social good, in self-development, and also in nation building. So basically, it's actually for coexistence, and also teaching how to redefine the narrative of how Nigeria and the Nigerian users are being perceived abroad.
So what's your reaction to the election?
Well, it has been a very interesting election. We came here as part of the ECOWAS network of electoral commissions with colleagues from Sierra Leone and Liberia, and also with colleagues from the Southern African region. And there is even a gracious concession on the part of the other candidate of the main party. So we are grateful that it has gone very well, but the process is still on. The election result has not been officially announced by the Electoral Commission, so we'll go and continuously support our colleague in the Electoral Commission. But we are very happy with this process and outcome.
Are there anything you have observed that you think?
There are many things I've observed. The first thing is the political parties. One of the lessons I think from this election for me is the fact that the main opposition candidate was vice president and president of the Republic of Ghana, lost elections on 2 different occasions, is now 3rd time lucky. And the candidate of the ruling party has also been in the same party which has been in and out of power for a long time. Rarely in Ghana do you see people moving from one party to another with every general election. So that is important. It provides stability. It also provides their supporters stability. So that you have people who support political parties for many, many years. So whether the party is in power or in opposition, they stick to the political party. The second thing for me is the lesson that Ghana also learned from Nigeria in the area of managing constituency election results. Until the last election in Ghana, all results come to the EC headquarters in Accra. That is parliamentary and presidential. Although Ghana is not a federal system, but they learn from Nigeria, where you have returning officers that announce results for parliamentary elections in the various constituencies around the country. Only the presidential election results come to Accra. So in Nigeria, this is what we have done, and they borrowed a leaf from us, and this is the second time they're implementing that. That's why, as you can see, the declaration of the presidential election result was a lot faster than it used to be in the past. Thank you, Joma.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.